Director Atwell, please.
Thank you, Chair. We're on agenda item 6.2 still?
We're on the motion about going out to public consultation.
Okay. There was a request that we made in December 9th to come back with some more information that turned into a task list for the top and for staff and for Urban Systems Carollo. And in this item we have an Appendix E that talks about how the costs have compared to the previous project, the previous liquid waste management plan project. So there's a note in Appendix E that says that the costs are of the bid price of the McLaughlin plant is only within 8%, 8.3% of the Urban Systems Carollo estimate, and it's based on a number of criteria. One of which is that there's a 94% allowance for soft costs. I did some digging through some of our old documentation, and when I go back to the original McLaughlin project that was detailed in June 2011, it was called Option 1A Prime 2. There's a section that was done by Stantec and Brown and Caldwell, and it says opinion of probable capital costs, and they list the direct costs, construction contingency at 15%, indirect costs, engineering at 15%, administration and program management costs at 6%, miscellaneous at 2% of direct costs, interim financing at 4%, inflation to midpoint of construction 2%, and then we had HST at the time, 1.75%. When I total those up, I only get 48% in soft costs, and I'm wondering where the Urban Systems 94% comes from.
Ms. Hutchison?
Yes, through the chair. CRD staff prepared this table. It was meant to be illustrative in terms of taking the original capital program and providing some escalation factor in order to provide a apples-to-apples comparison in terms of the year with the cost estimates that were prepared by Urban Systems. We also were attempting to demonstrate that one cannot compare a raw bid price with a project estimate without accounting for soft costs. In the interest of full disclosure, I have had follow-up information from GLOS working closer to the project at the time that the soft costs may have been double counted with regards to comparing the 178 up to the 361. The analysis that staff did was not surgical or detailed. It was general in nature, and we can certainly be directed to modify these costs based on the new information.
I think that would be worthwhile because I think the costs are still higher than normal. One of the issues that we have at this point in time, and we can go to the scope of work and so forth, but we only have 1/3 funding from the provincial government and from... Director,
I'm just going to interrupt to focus your comments on the motion on the table on going to public engagement or not.
And Madam Chair, sorry to interrupt once again. Here
right, 3-hour rule. Okay, so... Move to extend by Director Plant. Seconded by Director Desjardins. All those in favor? Any opposed?
Do we have food?
Yeah, we'll eat. We will. I promise we will eat. Director Atwell has the floor. Let's let him finish, and then we'll decide what we're going to do next. Thank you very much, Director Reams. Mr. Reams. Director Atwell. On the motion, please.
Thank you. On the motion, one of the difficulties I have going out to public consultation is we are going to go out with numbers and choices, and I'm still hearing that the numbers need to be worked on. In the technical memo number 1 on page 20, it talks about the capital cost breakdown. It says escalation to midpoint of construction is 2% over 4 years. If the midpoint of construction is 4 years, that tells me that the construction period is 8 years. The previous project was going to be built in 4 years. I don't know why the estimate here is for 8 years. Can I get some clarification on that?
Through the chair, the escalation to the midpoint of construction is intended to be halfway through to construction, and that's it.
So is the construction period 4 years or 8 years? Because it's listed, the midpoint's listed as 4 years in technical memo 1, which is the basis for the costing.
We've accounted for about a 5-year construction period. There may be something that I have to correct. I'll have to look back at that.
I'll share this with you. I think it needs to be corrected.